Hi, welcome. I am Erin. I am a licensed massage therapist, yoga, Pilates instructor. Um, and that being said, I've been doing it for a very long time. And of course, in my industry, I see a lot of back pain. And along with back pain comes with tight hamstrings. So I always suggest this to my clients, both in my massage practice and yoga. It is a great, easy, this will probably be a little bit longer, but it's a nice little wind down, super easy. I don't even want to really call it yoga, but it is called legs up against the wall. And I'm gonna take you through, actually, I think 3 or probably maybe 5 or 6 different variations of it. It's a nice series, so thank you for coming and joining. And we're gonna start off with our legs up against the wall. So what we're gonna try to do is, as close as you can, you're gonna wiggle your bottom up against the wall. You're gonna roll over, laying on your back. You're gonna extend your legs up against the wall. Now, if your hamstrings are too tight, maybe your legs are not getting straight and flush, wiggle your butt away from the wall to get your legs as straight as possible. You could even add a little traction of pushing your heels up to the ceiling and then drawing your tailbone down. So again, along with lower back pain, usually coincides tight hamstrings. And this could happen from sitting down all day at the desk, not having proper body mechanics, not involving our core. So what tends to happen is our core muscles shorten and pull on that lower back. So this is just gonna help to open everything up. So again, it's just easy. We get to lay here, not much is happening. Arms can kind of go wherever. Maybe you start to play with turning your head side to side. So holding the traction of the pushing up through the heels and pushing down through the butt starts to lighten up, that's fine. Again, if anything, this is a nice restorative, relaxing pose here. So for our next one, all you're gonna do is start to slowly bend your knees. Get your feet flat up against the wall. And go as far down as you can with your feet. Maybe you play with curling those toes to wiggle those feet down a little bit more. Try not to let that butt pop up. We're trying to still get our tailbone rooted down. So this should feel like a child's pose here. Feeling, especially now, that lower back imprinting onto the mat. Try to create that elongation, create some space. And maybe the head relax. So right now your knees are kind of pushing on the front, so the tops of your ribs. So when you're breathing, you're gonna have to expand the sides and the backs of the lungs. So I always mention this in my Pilates class. This is called thoracic or lateral breathing. So just start to feel the whole rib cage, or sorry, the sides and the backs of the ribs expanding. Now if we heel toe the feet apart, this is going to start to open up our hips. So this will help us if you have a yoga practice and you are working on malasana, yogi squat. So see how my feet are completely flat. Again, I'm trying to work, make sure my tailbone doesn't pop up. So what's so great about this pose here is because my back is straight. A lot of times in malasana, we tend to crouch. So this will definitely help you to gain that mobility here in this pose, that elongation of your spine, your shushuna. So what I like to do for this next pose is I'm going to take my right hand on the inside of the legs and I'm going to grab my right ankle. Try to just keep this right leg exactly where it is, and then you're going to extend the left leg out. So sometimes what will tend to happen is this right knee will start to roll in. If anything, think about pushing that elbow into the thigh to make sure that doesn't happen. So we're gonna have a nice opening now in our inner thighs. So if you feel like you're gonna need a little help, you could grab the thigh, help to slide it back in. So we'll switch that, grabbing a hold of our ankle on the inside, and then the right leg will go out to the side. So keeping the right leg exactly where it is, let's extend the left leg back out. So we're gonna have a nice big straddle. Kind of the same thing, work towards getting your legs flush with the wall. Feel your pelvis, make sure it's staying level. Again, at any point you could slide away from the wall to get that opening through the legs first. So we want to open the back of the legs first, and then we'll work on stretching out that back. Putting them together. And if you feel you're going to need a little help, grab those thighs, start to slide them in. We're going to bend our knees again. Feet come flat. So I always like to, anytime I come into a twist lately, I always like to bring my arms into that goalpost shape. So we're going to try to keep our feet up against the wall. Maybe it's the heel toe. Drop those feet down. So we got our knees going one way. We'll turn our head the other way. So this is where you're going to get that nice twist in that lower back. Twisting for your lower back is probably the best thing. Unless it's not. And you'll know. few more breaths here. Start to heel to those feet back up. Slide them up. And bring them down. We're going to keep the feet flat up against the wall. So again, knees go one way, head can turn the other. So like that pose we did earlier, that was like that child's pose. So right now your rib cage is being twisted, so the breath might start to kind of grip a little bit because you're in this twist. Try to slow it down. So right now your right rib cage is kind of open, so see if you can pull some more breath into that right spot, that right side. And twisting is so great for our internal organs. It's like wringing out a wet towel, so we're getting that blood to ring through all of those internal organs, your stomach, those intestines. Let's slide our feet back up. And we're going to end again with those legs straight up against the wall. Maybe this time you do a little patter. And get some blood starting. Well, the blood is flowing because it's flowing straight down. So that little bit of a movement can help promote a little bit more blood flow. And then again, notice how those legs maybe a little bit straighter. That bottom is really flush with the wall. Your lower back, your spine is nice and elongated. That breath is starting to deepen. Bending those knees, slide your feet back down. Roll over to one side, bringing ourselves back up. Alright, so that was a nice little quick series. Feel free, you can make that as long or as short as you like, but it's something really great to do.